Hello, beautiful friends. This is the Organizer Advisor, Dr. Lisa Winfield, here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. It's a rainy day here in Florida, and it's a perfect day to share with you my best tips, tricks, strategies, and suggestions on how to clean your umbrellas. Welcome everyone. I am so happy you're joining me today. I hope the weather is beautiful where you are. If you are new to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, liking this video if there's anything of value to you at the end, and then also please follow me on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Let's get started. I want to share with you some tips on how to take care of our umbrellas. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go gather. We're going to gather all of our umbrellas. So check your car, your gym bag, your closets, the garage, and the laundry room. Make sure that you have all of the umbrellas that you want to clean today. And then also we're going to gather our cleaning supplies. For this episode, I'm going to be using my favorite, Listerine. Why would I clean with Listerine? Well, you can check out the video where I share with you all the good properties of clean. It's not just a mouthwash, and it wasn't invented to be a mouthwash. Well, for the use in cleaning umbrellas, Listerine is fantastic because it contains plant compounds that actually prevent mold and mildew. And that's important when we're talking about umbrellas. So I'm talking about the original formula, Listerine. It's also going to leave our umbrellas fresh smelling, and it's going to sanitize the handles so that we don't have germ transference. Then I create my Listerine spray, which is 1 part water, 1 part Listerine. We're also going to use a little bit of furniture oil. Now I'm using orange oil. You can use any kind of furniture oil. This is going to help moisturize the handles, and if your umbrella has a wooden shaft, it's going to help hydrate that wooden shaft so it doesn't crack and splinter. If preferred, you can use hand protection. And then also I'm going to use my sewing machine oil. This is a highly refined oil that doesn't get goopy. I don't want goop on my umbrellas, so I'm going to use this oil to lubricate the shaft so that the umbrellas open and close smoothly and quickly. Before we get started, I also want to share with you at the very end of the video, I will have an infographic that you can screenshot that's going to summarize all of the things that I tell you here for the most part. I'll slip in some things as we clean. Now, a couple of tips about umbrellas. Number one, as a professional organizer, when I work with a client and we're working in the foyer area of the home, the entryway of the home, it could be a mudroom, it could be a foyer. One of the things that I suggest to my clients is this is a great place to store our umbrellas. Now, we want to store our umbrellas in a cool, dry place to prevent mold and mildew. We also want to have a place that we can put our umbrellas while they are drying so that we don't have a pool of water that creates a slip and fall hazard. So my suggestion is when you come in from the rain, gently close your umbrella. You don't want the splatter to be all over your home or on the people around you. Close it gently outside if possible and gently shake it off to get most of the water off. And then if you are in a public place, ask the store or the restaurant where you can store your umbrella while it is drip drying. Some offer umbrella bags, others have designated places for you to store your umbrella while you shop or while you eat so that it doesn't drip on the floor and create a slip and fall hazard. But in your own home, you definitely want to shake off that umbrella and then put it someplace where it can drip without cooling water. So some people have umbrella stands. I'm going to show you mine, but that's just a suggestion. And then put it into your storage. So if you keep it in a closet, in the foyer closet, or if you keep it in the umbrella stand by the door, those are perfect areas for you to store the umbrellas. And umbrellas are not meant to be used as cane. I know that's disappointing. However, I mean, they're not canes. And if you use an umbrella and put weight on it, you can bend the shaft, you can bend the frame, and it could actually damage your umbrella and make it unusable. So to extend the life of your umbrella, don't use it as a cane. Don't use it to push open doors either. And certainly don't use it as a fishing pole. Okay, a couple of safety tips in using your umbrella. When you are opening your umbrella, do it carefully and look for broken tines. Those tines, if they're broken, can protrude and can be a safety hazard, particularly for puncturing eyes or, your face. So we don't around you. So just as you're opening, just do a quick visual inspection and make sure there are no broken tines that are sticking out that could injure someone or yourself. So why do we need to clean umbrellas? First of all, we use these when it's raining, so they get wet. If we put them away wet, they are going to develop mold and mildew. This is not something we want to breathe. And mold and mildew can discolor the fabric of your umbrella, which is going to be yuck, and they also have an odor. You don't want to be the person in line at the food truck with an umbrella that smells like mold. So keeping them clean, keeping them dry, letting them dry thoroughly will extend the life of your umbrella, which is going to save you money. Two of my strongest tenets of professional organization is being able to utilize the items that you have, because if you're not able to utilize them, they are just clutter, and clutter creates chaos, and chaos creates cortisol. And long-term cortisol production is not beneficial to your body. So being able to utilize these items is going to be beneficial in the long run for you. Being able to find them when you need them is going to help you utilize these items that you have invested money in to enhance your lived experience. And if you're not able to find them, you're not able to use them. But also, if you're not able to find them, oftentimes we repurchase and end up with multiples of the same item because we couldn't find it when we needed it. Your umbrellas is going to extend the life of these items you've invested in, allow you to capitalize on that resource, but also it's going to prevent you from repurchasing something you couldn't find. I have seen that a lot as a professional organizer. All right, so now that we have gotten to the point where we're ready to clean, the first thing that we want to do is we want to carefully open the umbrellas, visually inspect the tines. We're going to then clean the fabric. Now we can do that two ways. We can use the Listerine spray and spray it directly on the fabric and then wipe, or we can use our flour sack towel and spray that with Listerine and then wipe the fabric. I prefer spraying the fabric with Listerine because I want a little bit of that plant compound residue to prevent mold and mildew. But if you're going to spray the fabric, you need to make sure you let it dry thoroughly before you put it away. So we're going to get started cleaning the umbrellas, and then I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks along the way. And then lastly, we're going to put them away in a dedicated space. You want to make sure that our umbrellas are safe to use. So just carefully open the umbrella and check the prongs. Make sure that there are no broken prongs. No broken prongs. Okay. So the other thing you want to do is check the fabric and make sure there are no rips. If there's a little rip, you can repair that. You can use a little needle and thread and just do a quick stitch. You could also iron on a patch if you needed to, or you could use some fabric glue, but you just don't want the rip to continue to extend. So this one looks safe. There's no mildew. See, there's no mildew. There's, no discoloration, and definitely no funky smell. So what I want to do now is I want to clean the fabric. Who guessed it? Yes, I'm going to use my Listerine spray. Why? Listerine has some plant compounds that help to prevent mold and mildew. So it's the perfect cleaner. It's non-toxic, but it's going to also keep our umbrellas fresh smelling as well as sanitary. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my flour sack towels. Remember, this girl doesn't use paper towels. No waste here. We want to make sure that we're reusing and being good stewards of our planet. So I'm going to use my Listerine spray, which is 1 part water, 1 part Listerine, and I'm just going to spray my cloth. And then I'm going to clean the inside of the umbrella. I'm just going to lightly wipe the inside of the umbrella. We'll do the outside next. This is going to remove any dust particles, pollen particles that could trigger an allergy, as well as give it a little bit of mold and mildew protection. The next thing I'm going to do is turn the umbrella around. And I'm going to do the same thing on the outside. Now, before you put your umbrellas away, you want to make sure that they are thoroughly dried. That's going to also help prevent mold and mildew. Cover for your umbrella, you want to use that as well. Piece of lint. That could end up in my hair. Be somewhat embarrassing. Cover. Next, I'm going to use a little bit of Orange Glow furniture oil to clean the wooden shaft as well as the handle. This is going to keep that wood hydrated, prevent splitting and cracking, which could end the life of this umbrella. Perfect. That'll also help the glide action, so it's easier to open. Now I'm going to let this thoroughly dry before I put it away. And when it's dry, I'm going to put the case on. And then I'm going to store these in an area that is accessible so that I can find them when I need them. That is the best way to be able to utilize the items that you have them in a dedicated space so that you can find them when you need them. All right, I'm going to clean the rest of these, and then at the very end, there's going to be a screenshot graphic for you if you're interested, so that you have a nice little summary of how to clean and care for your umbrellas. Okay, you can clean one of two ways. You can use the Listerine spray and spray your cloth and wipe, or you can actually spray the inside of the fabric itself. You can actually spray the fabric itself, and that's going to help a little bit more with that mold and mildew prevention. But because we're getting the fabric wet, we want to make sure we let the umbrellas dry thoroughly before we put them away. Now, this umbrella has a metal shaft, so I'm going to use my sewing machine oil to lubricate the shaft so that it opens and closes easily. That's going to extend the life of your umbrella. Sewing machine oil is a highly refined oil that doesn't get goopy. So I don't want goopy, I just want a nice glide on the shaft to open and close my umbrella. Just gonna add a little bit of sewing machine oil to my flour sack towel. I don't have to saturate it, I just need a little. And I'm just gonna wipe the shaft, and then I'm gonna open and close the umbrella. See how stiff that was? Let's see if we can fix that. Oh yeah, see that gets easier? Perfect. Okay, now I'm gonna clean the handle. I'm gonna use my Listerine spray to disinfect first, and then I'm gonna, because this is a wood handle, I'm going to oil it with my orange oil. Now you do want to make sure that you wipe most of the oil off so that you don't get oil on your hands and then get it in your eyes or in your clothing. So it's just a light oiling, and then wipe it thoroughly to make sure you have all the excess oil off. All right, this baby's done. I'm gonna let her dry, and then we're gonna move on to oiling. Small travel size. Now, we usually have a plethora of these, but we never have one where we need it the most, which is like in our car, in our gym bag. We go to the gym, we come out of the gym, and there's a downpour, and we don't have an umbrella, but we're late to work, and we've got to hurry. So I keep one in my car. You can keep one in your gym bag. You can keep one in your briefcase, or your tote, or in your bicycle basket. Whatever. But the small travel size ones are very convenient. They don't take up a lot of space, and they are super for saving your hair on an unexpected rainstorm. All right, so I'm gonna, again, just coat the inside of my fabric with my Listerine spray. And I'm just gonna give it a good wipe. Check those tines to make sure they're safe and not broken. I'm gonna wipe the handle, and I'm gonna sterilize the handle. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my sewing machine oil. This will also help keep the shaft from rusting if you have a metal shaft. Perfect. Now we'll flip her around. All right, this one is finished. I'll let her thoroughly dry, and then I'll put her in her case, and I'm gonna put her in my car. Okay, so here's where I store my umbrellas, right by the door, and I have this family heirloom piece. This umbrella stand was made by my great-grandfather, Walter Bradley, and it's over 100 years old. So I really treasure this. I have hydrated the wood really well, but this thing lived in the barn for a lot of years, so it needed a lot of loving care. But I wanted to mention something. At the beginning, this had a flat wooden bottom, but because you store umbrellas that are wet and they drip, the wood rotted. So what I did is affixed a mesh hardware cloth, but I used a really fine mesh so the tips of the umbrellas don't go through, and then I have a drip tray. So this is going to catch the water as it drips. I'm just going to place that on the tray. So this way the water can drip through, and the tip of the umbrella does not sit in water. It's raised above on the mesh. So now I'm going to put my umbrellas away. So this my travel umbrellas, I'm going to have one in my luggage, ready to go in case when I travel, I have an umbrella, and then I'm also going to put one in my car or in my gym bag. Now this one I'm going to hang right here. and I'm ready for whatever weather. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please wait till the end for that screenshot graphic if you would like to save this information. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video, and until then, my beautiful friends, be well.